So what do I mean by that? We have, you know what? I'm actually not even going to start there as underlying energy because it's kind of, I'm being drawn to this Five of Cups. Look at the Five of Cups. This is regret. This is loss. This is missed opportunities. This is the past energy, the foundation. Last week, last month, last year, this could be the culmination of everything that you've ever lost. But it's looking at what's not there, looking at what's been lost. I don't have the support. Why did I miss out on this? You know, it's something that's gone. And we can't help but notice what's been missing. Even though there's some stuff left, you know, then not all is lost, this card says. But it's hard to appreciate what's there when we're looking at what's missing. So this is a card of loss and it's sometimes grief, but it's regret. It's gone. And that's the past. That's the foundation of this. And I'm kind of going back because I'm reading it like a very kind of weird energy here. But that's how it is. It's coming. The Five of Cups is, it's important to say that first, the emotional aspects. Because that's the last time you were truly in your feels. And it might be that you're remembering, well, the last time I got really emotional, I felt loss and it was painful and I didn't like that. Some of you might have gotten stuck here for a while. Just looking at, well, this is missing and that's missing and all of that. Now, at the heart of your reading, we have the Ten of Swords. We have the Ten of Swords. And this is where we're left in the dirt with 10 swords in our back. Betrayal, deception. We might have done this to someone where we think we've messed up so bad. Swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them. And yet when this Ten of Swords comes up, especially at the heart, everything revolves around this, right? That's the focus. It's at the heart of the reading. Whatever you're going to next, whatever it is, it's the shadow of the past is on this. So that's why I went with the past first. The Five of Cups. What was lost? You missed out on something. The regret, the hurt, the pain, the tears, right? All of that stuff. And it's almost like, well, when we're about to begin something new, especially when we come from a place of logic and that head energy, the mind's historical. It's going to go back. It's going to look back at, well, the last time we did this, that happened. And so what's being remembered here is a time of, it's already happened. It's not saying it's happened now. Ten of Swords, it's saying the worst has already happened, and it is the worst. I'm not sugarcoating the Ten of Swords. It sucks. It's horrible. It looks horrible. It looks gruesome, right? The scene of the crime, I always call this. And this is where we mentally are revisiting the scene of the crime again and again and again. And it urges us to make sense of that, to take some truth away from that. This is where the writing's on the wall. If we're being betrayed or deceived, we know who to trust and who not to trust. This is where we might have hit rock bottom, but it's saying you've got there. It's time to go up. There's only one way now. You might have hit rock bottom, but there's only way to go. You can only go up from here. It's about focusing on that. It's where we have to pick up the pieces and go forward. But like I said, this can be the shadow of the past. Now that usually comes in when we're about to step into a new truth. We're about to go do something again. You know, I'm about to get back on the horse, but remember when I fell off it and broke my leg? That kind of energy. And there's something new coming in. We've got the Ace of Swords coming up here, which is a new way of thinking, a new truth, a new way of communicating, a new philosophy of life, a new belief system comes in. Perfect person to wield that sword is the Queen of Swords. I love the Queen of Swords. She is she's someone who's been through every crappy thing. And that's why I kind of think this is not something specific. I feel like that's why I said the culmination of every awful thing that's ever happened to you. And the Queen of Swords is someone who's been through it all. She's been through every heartache, pain, loss that you can imagine. The heartbreak queen, the divorce queen, the widow queen. She's faced it and experienced it. But she doesn't just thrive because of that. I mean, she doesn't just survive. She hasn't just survived it. She's thriving now. That's what I'm trying to say. I was remembering that I've actually talked about her in the last podcast that I did, where, we can go through so much shit. And at first we think, well, oh my God, I just need to survive this. I just need to get through this. And then when we kind of make sense of the experience afterwards, it's like, no, this is going to help me to thrive. I have knowledge now. I have a new truth now. I know who I am authentically. There's nothing like this kind of, some that kind of baptism by fire, that thing of going through these difficult experiences to come out of it even stronger, because it's going to show who you are at your core. You can't fake it till you make it when you've gone through crap. When you're going through crap, it's just all you can do to kind of hang on in there, right? And it's giving you a new truth of who you are. Now, this is about speaking from that place of truth. And, a lot of times when you say that, because all the energies play out on a spectrum, so there's the highest vibration of any card, and then the lowest vibration of that card. The lowest vibration of the Queen of Swords is she can beat people over the head with her truth. It's her truth. So she expects other people to live by that truth, and she can have a very cutting tongue and be kind of a bit judgmental. Let's be Justice, Queen of Swords. There's that kind of judgmental energy coming in, where she can just cut people out. Well, that's not right. The highest vibration of the Queen of Swords is she has her truth. She's so solid in her truth that she can face and hear any truth, as long as it is the truth that comes at her. And a lot of that's coming in. It's time to speak your truth, Pisces, with her coming in. Speak your truth. Live from that place of truth. How you communicate now. A lot of the signs have gotten that. I think Scorpio got it, Capricorn. It's that energy of, not just in the cards, but they got it through the oracle cards as well, of who are you? Who is Pisces? Authentically who you are. That's the head energy. That with your logic and your thoughts and your philosophy and your beliefs, there is a new truth that you have here. And it's, let's not forget this. It's been hard fought for. You earned it. It's every difficult experience that was thrown at you, being left like this, that has given you that. But the cycles run from the aces to the 10, right? And then we start again. So we get to the 10 of swords and we go to the ace. That's why it's about pulling all those swords out, being left with one sword of truth. And that's how we make sense of situations. That's how we learn from a situation. Because we've learned the lessons from it. We're not doing that again. I have a new truth out of this. Now, if there's been an injustice, and I think for some of you, and I want you to understand this, with the justice card, one of the first things that I learned about it is we all have a different idea of what justice is. We all have different idea of what justice is. So, I don't know, say I'm in a relationship with you and there's a job offer that you've received and you need to go overseas and, that's your truth. Now, you might just leave and say, look, I need to go there. I'm going to go. That might be an injustice to me, saying, well, Pisces, we were in a relationship. How dare you just leave me and go? But you're being true to yourself. You don't feel like you've done an injustice. You might think, well, Jay, you're not being very just. You're not being very understanding. Why can't you understand this is a big deal for me? I worked my whole life for this. Do you see what I mean? So everyone has their own individual truths. That's the Queen of Swords as well. But it's understanding that everyone has their own stories. Everyone has their own experiences. Everyone's coming to it from their own place. We're talking about that injustice because of justice. This is things being righted. This is fairness. This is balance. This can be making amends. Justice is the making and the breaking of contracts. We talked about divorce and all the rest of it there. Some of you could be that. It's a freedom. There's a liberation. There's independence. Justice is done through the truth. She has a sort of truth there as well, right? The truth is the truth is the truth. But having said that, there's no overall objective truth. Each person has their own individual truth. And this is that week where you kind of fully acknowledge what is your truth, Pisces? What balances your scales? What would you need to hear or say in this situation to get the outcome that you want? And it's not about trying to get people to respond the way you want to. It's about you expressing your truth. Now, this doesn't even have to be communication with others. Justice, it's a very karmic energy. It's about balancing our own scales, right? Equilibrium that we have. Seeing getting that understanding, getting that kind of common meeting ground. Yeah, I get that you're coming from that. I don't agree with that. It can be that agree to disagree, but there's no arguments for justice. It's we've balanced the scales. So there is this idea of balance, of fairness, of that kind of stuff coming in. It can be mediation. It can be both parties getting to have this say. It can be apologies, right? If there's been this, someone could apologize. Doesn't have to be that someone comes in your face, because I say that and people say, well, I don't want that apology. They can go screw themselves or whatever. That fair enough. But then it's about making peace with it, coming to a place of making amends with it within yourself with justice. That I'm good on this. I know what balances my scales. I'm good. Now, it's almost as if I get the sense that whatever this is, and it might be something big. For some of you, this is like therapy that you've been through. And you kind of understand, wow, I've gone through so much in my life and it's changed me, and I'm not going to entertain that kind of stuff before. And it's knowing the role that we play. And I'm not saying it's not about blame. It's never about blame. I think blame is the most ridiculous thing that we do as humans, because it doesn't bring us anything. We just learn the lessons from it and move on. When we blame, that's judgment. We're passing judgment, and justice does call for some kind of judgment to be passed, but for ourselves, not on other people. Right? It's not about condoning what other people have done. It's not about saying, yeah, that's good. It's just about, I'm not going to hold on to this. I don't need that crap in my life, right? So there is that sense of this. And all of that stuff that's come up, whatever it's taken for you to get to this place, spiritual belief, speaking your truth, new way of communicating, reading something new, writing a book, like the Ace of Swords, it's that the pen is mightier than the sword. Maybe there's been that kind of cathartic kind of like healing energy of, working your way through it, the release, the purge, by speaking about what you've been through, writing a book, writing a blog, making videos, doing a TED talk, whatever it is that kind of energy. And that shows that I've made my peace with this. I'm at peace with this. I've balanced it out. I'm good with this. And that's what this week is. Now, when you do that, that's the importance of this. And not everyone's going to do that. You can move forward to the world. And that's when the world says, yeah, now you've learned everything that you needed to out of that. That is the end of a major life cycle. It's finished. Because let's have a look at this. That's an ending. 10s are an ending, right? Or well, 9s are an ending. I think 10 is the outcome of that ending. But this was something that you thought you were done with. But in one way, in some sense, it's been haunting you. Some of you, this has been haunting you your whole life. For others of you, it's just been like last 6 months, year, whatever. Last week, last month, last year, it doesn't matter. But it feels kind of big for the majority of you. When we get these 2 major arcana cards, it is big because it's going to change your direction that you're going in. And so the world is saying now you've learned, you've taken everything that you needed to out of that. That's why you were stuck there. That's why the shadow of this was hanging over you. Because you hadn't processed some part of it. You hadn't made your peace with some part of it or made amends with it, understood some part of it. And that's where it's a victory card. The world is victory. Look at her. She's sat on top of the world. And there's usually a victory wreath in the world. And I kind of like how they've kind of done the victory wreath, but it's butterflies. The transformation's happened. She looks like she's meditating there. She has all this wisdom and knowledge now. This is graduation. And some people, it might be literal graduation. But it's the celebration of that. And understanding, making sense of everything that you've been through. Those of you that are still going through hell, like Winston Churchill says, you keep going. Keep going. There is this. But, for most of you, you're not in this place. It's the shadow is there, but you're seeing a way, either through talking about it, therapy, figuring out for yourself, writing about it, whatever, communicating it. You are coming to a place of balance here. There is balance being restored to your life. Now, when you do, what's your advice? The advice is the Queen of Cups. Do not forget who you are. Do not forget who you are. Yes, there'll be losses. Yes, there's regret. Yes, there's missed opportunities. Yes, this crap always happens, right? But you are still you. A new you, yes. A new you, yes. But a loving, caring, not cynical. I mean, that's the darker side of this energy. We can turn cynical. We can lose faith in stuff. We can think nothing is worth loving because we're going to lose it. But you're being told no, it's going to make sense to you. And it's like you come out of it even more loving than you were before. But with more discernment, knowing who is worth your cup. 5 of Wands, because you're getting back in the ring. That's what it is. Now, the 5 of Wands, it's can be conflict, but it's more overcoming stuff. It's enjoying the challenges that come up. It's showing what you're made of. It's the cream rising to the top. The card that comes after the 5 of Wands is the 6 of Wands. And so this is what we do to get the victory. Victory doesn't mean having a victory over someone. It's feeling victorious in what you've overcome in yourself, especially with this energy coming up. And so this is the struggle. This can be competing with other people in the workplace or getting back on the horse, like I said, but it's showing what you're made of. And imagine if you come to it with this place of equilibrium and peace and harmony and, just moderation in all things. I know what I'm doing. Why is the world in the future? Hangman, that's Neptune, that's I believe, right? And I want you to think about that. Everything that you've been through, this is like a deeper, profound understanding. And I'm going to say this, like I'm not going to take it to the most negative place, because the most negative part of this energy is, and you wouldn't be watching tarot videos. Like the majority of people who come to this, they're on a spiritual journey, especially people that watch me. They're on a spiritual journey. They're trying to be what they can. This is that, they have a deeper, more profound spiritual belief in where they are. And because the most negative aspect of this energy is where we get stories of how shit everything is. I'm never going to trust anyone. you know, it's just about competition. I'm just going to fight with everyone. But I'm not getting that here. Not if we take it to the higher spiritual energy. And that's, we all have access to that. We have access to peace and harmony. We have access to balance, right? Balancing our scales, of feeling victorious, taking from this. And this, when the Hanged Man shows up, this shows that, you know, you've been in limbo. Let's face it. Very patience with the Temperance card. You're trying to figure out what your experience is. You're taking stock of where you are after this has happened. The Hanged Man, your world's been flipped upside down, the world. But that's a great thing here. Whatever you've been through, it's enhanced your understanding of the world, not limited it. The darker side of this is that it will limit how much you do and what you want to do. But the most enhanced side of this, the greater energy of this is, no, the world is my oyster. I identify with different things now. I have a new belief system. My philosophy of life has changed. 2 cards that talk about change in perspective, massive change in your perspective here. And it actually allows you to, you know, that's why the Queen of Cups coming up as advice. 6 of Cups. Make your peace with your past. That's what this week feels like. It's very much the whole of the message. 6 of Cups. And that's the younger us. That's before the loss of innocence, the childhood self, or the dream that we had before this crap hit all this shit hit the fan, right? This is our younger self. They're the same person. So she's gone back to her younger self, and her younger self has a gift for us. You know, it's like, remember what we dreamed of. Remember what we wanted. This is nostalgia. This is rose-tinted glasses. There's a deep, and for some of you Pisces, the ones that, you know, are resonating with this and using this energy at its highest vibration, there is a kind of deep, powerful epiphany, understanding of, you know, that could rock you to your foundations. Not exactly the tower, because you've been working through this for a while, but just that sense of, wow, I'm so bad. Like, I get it. I understand it. I understand all the knocks I've taken. I understand what it's made me, who it's made me, and appreciating every single version of yourself that you've been. The focus is so much on you, what you understand, the meaning that you've given to it, your own truth now, your own philosophy. And out of that comes, look at this emotional stuff. You're no longer looking at what was lost, because you make your peace with it and go forward to pursue the dreams, and knowing, hey, you know, it doesn't matter if my happy times are in the past. If I lost those, I can go create new ones. I can have even more happy memories coming up in the future. Be in the present and dream of the future. When we dream, everything is possible. So you're shifting gears as well. That's where you're going now. There's been this understanding, analysis, working out what's going on. There's something that shifted now. Now it's about, okay, well, I did that, understood it. Now what new dreams are coming in? And they're going to be born off your new belief system. Things that you wanted before, you don't identify with those anymore. You're done with that. They taught you everything that you needed. The new people that you're going for, is it new work that you want to do? Do you love something different now? Do you want to live somewhere else? Do you want to go exploring? Like, it's all of those things. But the point of power is the present. And when we are balanced on the inside, then we can take that kind of action on the outside to go for what we want, right? Higher power. It's deep. It's spiritual. Very much got that with the Hanged Man. Have a look here. Do you see her, the third eye? It's the key as well. There's light emanating from it. And it's almost like those kind of downloads that you get, or those epiphanies that you get, like an understanding. For some of you, this is the washing away of, I don't know how many years of whatever that shit is. It's just, some of you might say, it just doesn't matter. I don't know why I was so caught up in it. For others of you, it's like, it matters, but I went through it. I acknowledge everything that I've been through, but I also acknowledge who I am today and what my truth is today and how I go forward with that now. The action that I take based on this. You are connected to a higher power. You are connected to a higher power. This is very much a higher understanding of your situation. Dearest you, we bet you must be so exhausted some days, giving as much as you do, sharing your energy so beautifully in service to the highest good. There is that, see? Keeps coming through. Sorry, let me say that again. Giving as much as you do, sharing your energy so beautifully in service to the highest good can leave you feeling depleted like an empty well. If it feels as if there's no more water for you, the good news is we have a plan. Today, go take a relaxing bath, book a massage, read a novel, buy yourself flowers, or plant some in your garden. Make time for self-care, not more work on yourself. By tending to yourself now, you are reminded to do so more often. And be sure to use a word that might have caused you anxiety in the past, but is essential for your well-being now. No. Say it with us. No, thank you. No, I can't. You do not have to explain. Just say no, gently but firmly. Then go for a soak. Life will wait for you to bring yourself back to center, replenished and ready for more adventure. We love you so very much. And it's that, you know, think about that self-care, taking care of your own needs and saying no. It's an understanding of what you want. And that's actually honest. And, you know, there's a lot of people that, and I talk about this in the outro, so be sure to listen to the outro. But there's one thing that I said, you know, sacrificing yourself for other people, it does not make you a good person. And a lot of people think that it makes you a good person. All that you get are resentments and hurts. And, you know, I always put myself out there for everyone. No one ever does anything for me. What all you do is you become a neglectful parent to your own inner child, right? That's what it is when you start sacrificing yourself. So this is about standing in your truth, taking whatever time you need, and then always saying that. If you can't do it, then it's like, no, I can't do that. If you can't do it, you can't do it. And maybe that's your challenge, but you're ripe and ready for this. Whatever action you're going to take next, you're ready for it. Very much so with that 5 of Wands coming up and with Justice and the Temperance card. There is this kind of balanced energy, just peace, a level of peace that was not available to you before. And it's almost like, well, your heart beams, your love beams even brighter for that now. But only when you can make peace for all this shit that happened in the past.